Hi everyone and welcome to another week's tutorial. This week I'm really excited to be talking to you about how to choose musical theatre repertoire. So this video is appropriate for you if you're a young singer passionate for a musical theatre career. My specialism is working with children and young people in professional musical theatre in the West End. However, if you're an adult or an older singer and you enjoy musical theatre you certainly just want to hear about how to select some repertoire, you'll certainly be able to translate this video into some useful information. So this video is coming from the angle of assuming that you are after a career in musical theatre within the West End or Broadway, or perhaps you're looking to choose some repertoire for your school or college musical theatre course auditions. First of all, I thought I'd do a quick do's and don'ts list for you. So, do make sure that you choose repertoire that represents you. Do sing your song well. Do make sure that your song shows suitable range for whatever it is that you're auditioning for. Do make sure that you show dynamics within your song. So that doesn't mean just louds and softs. It also means showing dynamic of your vocal ability. So you don't want to just sing a song monotonous the same way that we don't want to really speak so, because we want to be able to pick out how your voice articulates and hear something more than just one vocal quality. Do demonstrate through your choice of repertoire your typecast. It's really interesting to see what some people bring into auditions, but it's really important that you show your typecast through your song choice. Make sure your song showcases what you're great at. And now for the list of don'ts. Okay, so don't show what you could do. Nobody wants to see what you could do. We want to see what you can do. Don't choose a song out of your typecast, however tempted you might be. Don't sing pop, for example, if you're a musical theatre singer. If you're MT, go MT all the way, okay? If you're asked for a pop song, that's different, and we'll come to that later. But go with your strengths. Make sure you sing a song that you feel some kind of connection to, or it's not going to come across as genuine. Now, as actresses and actors, we do have to sing songs that we might not connect with, so that's a really worthwhile point to make. However, if your song is about your dying husband who you've been married to for 50 years and you're 16 years old, that's not going to be a great song for you to sing. You're not going to connect with the issues within that song, however good an actress you are. That's too much of a leap, and there are millions of songs that you could do. How should you choose repertoire for yourself? So how do you find repertoire to suit you for auditions and for performances? Well, first of all, you need to start with your personality. Okay, so what kind of characters will you play? Those won't be necessarily characters that you want to play, but definitely need to be characters that you could play. And this is a really tricky question, and you've got to delve deep. You know, you might want to play a certain lead that might not be anywhere near achievable for you because simply of the way you look or the way that your personality sits, and it's just really great if at this early stage in your career you can make those acceptances. Obviously, as you grow and develop, your personality will adapt and will change because you're young. However, it's really important that you're staying true to who you are and that you're choosing repertoire that represents you. Let's have an example. If your personality matches the kind of character that is Mary Poppins, you wouldn't go and audition for Killer Queen and We Will Rock You, necessarily. There's never a never. But Mary Poppins probably wouldn't step into Killer Queen's shoes, and Killer Queen probably won't step into Mary Poppins' shoes. The next thing I like to do, so I'm going to take the example of if your typecast is, for example, Mary Poppins. So let's take that role to pieces and look at the songs that Mary Poppins sings. We might even go to the film for this because we can, but let's think about in the show. And in the show we know Mary Poppins sings Practically Perfect, and we know that she sings Spoonful of Sugar, and there are other songs as well. It's really important that you know the whole breadth of the songs that she sings. For example, Brimstone and Treacle has a completely different dynamic. So within the show itself, Mary Poppins sings lots of different styles of songs, depending on where it's coming within the context of the show. So first of all, if you're someone that suits the part of Mary Poppins, you can start by learning those songs and starting there, and dissecting with your teacher which parts might be appropriate for you over others. So for example, Spoonful of Sugar you might feel is a little bit too tricky for you or a little bit too hard for you, so there's other songs on offer for you as well and suited to your vocal capabilities at the time you're learning it. And so let this little search now begin, that we can lead on to finding other rep. So the first thing I would suggest you do is research who's played that role, and most notably we all know that Julie Andrews played the role of Mary Poppins in the film. So let's go with her, and we then find out by doing our Google searches and researching her at the library that Julie Andrews played Maria in The Sound of Music and played Millie in Thoroughly Modern Millie, to name but a few. So that can start your next round of searching for rep. This is going to be material that's going to be appropriate for your voice because it's sitting in a range that you are comfortable with. It's sitting in a typecast that is well suited to you. So then you'd go and listen and learn some of the songs from The Sound of Music or from Thoroughly Modern Millie. Look at who's played the roles on Broadway and in the West End, and of course we all know that Zizi is going to be playing Mary on the West End shortly, so you might look up what Zizi Strallen has been playing in the past and again pick out the songs of the characters or for the characters that she's played. And of course the original Mary Poppins in the West End here was Laura Michelle Kelly, and she's had lots of credits to her name. To name a few, we've got Les Miserables where she played Fantine, Mamma Mia, My Fair Lady, back when she was younger she played Hoddle in Fiddler on the Roof. She's played Nellie in South Pacific, she's played Anna in The King and I, she's been in Me and My Girl, and of course more recently she was the lead in Finding Neverland on Broadway. And that's a whole ton of songs and repertoire choices there that's going to sit within your range, within your typecast, within your character capabilities that you can go away and learn. And of course then we've got a whole range of songs there. If we just look at Laura Michelle Kelly's search that pulled us up on, we've got legit ballads in The King and I, we've got pre-65 up-tempos in South Pacific, we've got character songs in My Fair Lady, we've got a song for a younger girl if you're a younger voice with Fiddler on the Roof, we've got younger song for younger girl voices in Les Miserables there, as well as for the more mature voices. And of course for the more contemporary musical theatre ballad we've got songs in Finding Neverland and the glorious Mamma Mia, which will bring you into contemporary up-tempo, and of course lots of pop choices. So then you start filling out your rep folder with all these different categories, which may have seemed really overwhelming, but you've simply just broken it down. Your teachers may ask you to expand on those sections for your rep, and that's absolutely fine too, because this is just one little 2-minute search that we've completed, and there's plenty of other searches that we can do. So the take-home message is do your research. Try not to just pick a book off the shelf and open it. We all know that the musical theatre anthologies are fantastic, but do try and invest some time in really researching what will suit you. Of course, if you have any questions whatsoever, I like to call myself the repertoire queen for young people and children who want a career in musical theatre. I would love to help you, and I have got extensive repertoire available for my students and for anyone who needs my advice. You can email me ac@ameliacarvoice.com. Or if you'd like access to some exclusive playlists via my Spotify, then you can drop me an email. Also, I charge a small amount of money just for the time that I've spent inserting songs into different age categories and voice types. So if you'd like access to those playlists, what I've done is for girls and boys, pre-voice change and post-voice change of different ages, I've put songs into different age categories, obviously musical theatre songs, and there's a pop one too, for songs that I would suggest for each age group and category. So if you want access, send me an email, ac@ameliacarvoice.com. I'd be delighted to share that with you for a small cost. It's been a total pleasure to have you with me today. I know there's going to be a million questions firing off in your brain, and as ever, you are so encouraged to send me your questions, because your questions might help other people as well if I can share them on my social media during the week. Do check out my website, www.ameliacarvoice.com. There you can book a lesson with me. What you won't see on my website yet is the different types of lessons that I do offer. I offer an in-person one-to-one lesson from my studio in London, or you can book a video tutorial with me that we can do like this, but live. Or you can book a video tutorial. So that is where you send me a series of videos of yourself singing, and I send a series of videos back giving you some corrections to work on at home. And of course, don't forget that on Instagram, if you go to my story and click on the questions highlight, you can insert your quick singing questions, which I answer live every Saturday. Please join me next week. I'm going to be doing a video on typecasts. So that will be a little bit more detail about how to define, refine your typecast choice. And if you've got questions in advance that you'd like me to answer in that video, please do let me know. Just on a little bitty side note to this video this week, please remember when you do prepare your repertoire to make sure that you go over with a teacher how to cut your music well. If you've got to sing just to a time limit or to a certain bar limit, it's really important that you showcase yourself well in an audition. Make sure your music is clearly marked. Again, you'll need a professional to help you with that unless you've already been shown how to do it. And also make sure that you prepare your sheet music well, so tape it well. I will do some videos on this in the future. Please, one more last thing, make sure you know your accompaniment. There's no good just singing along to a YouTube karaoke track and then taking a sheet music to a pianist in an audition, because that's a recipe for disaster.